This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action here on Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'3" cornerback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And we take a look now at the New York offense.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. He got 29 yards that time.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Casey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Back to throw. Hayden, wide open receiver, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jets have taken a first quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Flushed out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run here with Mason. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball. Okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And they've got it here with a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Bert, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, it's Fields. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The drive begins with Mason. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Being chased out left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Hayden. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. The 30, past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there, 77 yards. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down.